Hey guys, this is going to be a long video. Complete unboxing, setup, issues I ran into, flight, setting up your OSD, all that kind of stuff to get the full maximum benefit out of Tracer. I've flown it now for, I don't know, 10 to 15 packs, whatever. It's fantastic. I do notice a slight bit of difference. It's kind of hard for me to pick up with DJI because of the latency there. But I guess it's just kind of like in your head, you know, it's like working and it's doing its thing. So the whole video has got the whole experience in it. Make sure you don't miss anything. And if you're a Tango 2 owner, you might want to check out some of my Tango 2 videos before this to make sure that everything's upgraded, installed correctly with your PCB if you still have one of the originals and all that kind of stuff, because you're going to need to be on the full latest Monty on this. Also go to TBS's website for the Tracer, look at the manual. They did a really good job on it. I mean, they have everything covered with the whole CROSSFIRE and Tracer ecosystem. Thumbs up to Team Black Sheep for getting that done. So let's get on to this. Well, totally out of the blue, Team Black Sheep dropped something on us a few weeks ago, the TBS Tracer 2.4 gigahertz long range, high refresh rate system. I was hesitant as far as whether or not I wanted this or actually needed it, but the price was right and I got it. So let's check it out right now on the channel. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dorky 40 channel. I am Chad. We're going to be taking a look at the Tracer today. And what I have here is the Tracer, I guess you could say, launch kit, which has the 3 receivers inside there, which are the same size as the little NANO CROSSFIRE receivers. We've got a bunch of antennas. They're literally the same size as the 900 megahertz ones. And of course, we've got lots of wires. And we have the TBS Tracer unit itself, which is very small and super light, almost weighs nothing. And I'm trying to get the antenna out of here. So I've already updated my Tango 2 and the CROSSFIRE module inside, which really doesn't matter, but I want to make sure that everything is on the same type of deal here. So we're going to need to update this stuff in this video, or at least see if there's any updates out there. Not going to do anything to it first. What I want to do is I've been reading through the online documentation here, and you know, anytime you get a new control system, you want to make sure you know what's going on and that everything is all good. It all is very, very similar to CROSSFIRE, just checking out and making sure things wire up the same way. Basically, we can just unwire our old stuff, wire up our new stuff, and then we just got to put in the 2 new antennas. So nothing really crazy going on here yet that I can see. A lot of stuff about OpenTX and how things work. Now, the thing right out of the bat why I don't want to update stuff is that these are what TBS is calling vanilla receivers. So they've never been bound before or anything like that. So that way I can just hook this up to the Tango 2, fire it up, and we'll install a receiver here. We should automatically get a bind. Double check and make sure everything's working, and then we can go ahead and update everything at that point. So the first thing we got to do, I believe, is with the Tango 2 here, going to go ahead and slide the Tracer in, and you can see I have the module bay, V3 PCB. You know, if you got any questions about any of that stuff at all, I've made videos on the channels about it and how to install all that. So that clicks right into place. And we'll turn the Tango 2 on here too.
Welcome to Tango 2.
So we've got nothing going on there as far as our light or power or anything, because we need to turn this on to work with an external module. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my model select screen, and I am going to basically duplicate my Betaflight model. And this is kind of like general OpenTX stuff here. So if you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of videos out there for it. What I'm going to do is I am going to rename it just so I know exactly which one I'm working on here. And I'm just going to name that BF, and then we'll just name it BFT, Betaflight for tracer, to make this go fast. All right, so then I'm going to go and scroll all the way down on the bottom. We're in the very first setup menu here, which it's so hard to show this stuff on camera, even when you got good cameras. But if you've done this with multi-protocol or anything else like that, you know exactly what I'm doing. So I am going to scroll all the way down to external RF, and I'm going to scroll through that. PPM, DSM2, CROSSFIRE, multi, R9M, S-Bus. I guess it's CRSF. Yeah. Okay. So we got the CRSF selected. And we've got power and everything like that. Now, if I go into my, yeah, cool. So if I go one step over into my menu or your Lewis script or whatever like that, instead of it usually showing CROSSFIRE, now it shows, it's a waste of time. Just going to take my word for it. Now it shows Tracer Micro TX. And I can click on that, and everything is just exactly the same. Max power, dynamic power, my VTX, CROSSFIRE shot. It's all exactly the same as if you were just running normal CROSSFIRE. So that was pretty simple and painless. So let me go over here and install one of the receivers, and I'll flash a couple pictures or something up on that. So this thing's running, and we've got the tracer running here. So we will be right back. So it's a little unorthodox here, but this is what we're gonna have to deal with. So I've got everything wired up. Like I said, wired up easy, just like your CROSSFIRE would. No problem at all with that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Tango 2 here with the tracer module installed.
Welcome to Tango 2.
And then we're going to go over to the CROSSFIRE menu. And then I'm just going to click bind. So now this is in bind mode. And got my RSSI turned on just so that way we can kind of hear that. And now we're just going to plug the quad in, and
81 dB.
we are connected already. Bind complete. And now I'm getting the screen
92 dB.
for
Telemetry recovered.
Tracer Nano RX.
Telemetry lost. 85 dB. Telemetry recovered.
Huh, interesting.
Telemetry lost. 85 dB. Telemetry recovered.
I hear that. I'm like right here. And there's my antennas.
92 dB.
That's I guess kind of concerning. But oh well, we don't know nothing until we go out and fly.
dB.
So we're on 8-channel mode here. We'll go back into the Tracer Micro TX.
86
100
dB.
watts, 100 milliwatts, dynamic power on. And that's pretty much about it. Definitely
70
working.
dB.
Let's go into our telemetry screen. So in the telemetry screen, we're getting
dB. Telemetry
power
lost.
is down, and now it's bouncing
Telemetry
back and
recovered.
forth. 25 milliwatts.
86 dB. Telemetry lost.
Huh, that's really
Telemetry
weird.
recovered.
Well, that's the way it is right now. So let's update it, see what's going on.
89
I do have
dB.
Wi-Fi and stuff running in here too, so you know, we'll see how that goes. Sometimes these radio systems are really wonky when you're this close and everything else. We'll find out here.
Lost. Telemetry recovered.
All right, so we are going to fire up TBS agent here, and we'll plug this baby in and see if there are any updates. Sure there are. TBS loves to put out firmware like crazy. Manage. Firmware. 5.02. Okay, so it shipped with 5.01. Update CROSSFIRE base to version 4.08, which I did. So we might have had some incompatibility stuff going on here. You probably wanted to see what's going on there. So we're updating. It's flashing. Bootloader mode. This is about as real and unedited as you can get. So going to update the subsystems now. This usually takes a little bit longer. All right, update complete. That was super fast. So we'll go back to devices. All right, so there is that. We will go with Tango 2 here real quick.
Welcome to Tango 2.
Just make sure that nothing new showed up after that, which it shouldn't have. Oh, let's see here. Freedom TX. All up to date. Oh. Tango 2 CROSSFIRE. Yeah, it was over here. I just updated it. 4.08. Does it say anything about anything about it? So all right, so we're going to bind up and it'll probably update the firmware. we have a red light. Probably going to have to do this again. I'm going to have to put it into bind mode. Yeah. All right. Put the CROSSFIRE micro tracer thing into bind mode. Now plug in. And now we've got a green flashing light. So it's definitely seeing something. Update micro RX. Enter. And now it's going to update the CROSSFIRE receiver. The tracer receiver. Jeez. It's going to take a while to get used to all these naming conventions. The tracer. I don't plan on putting tracer on everything for right now. Probably the 4-ride here and my 5-inch. Probably won't deal with nothing else. I don't want to take my tiny trainer apart unless I have to, because that's got the decased Vista in there and it's all kind of sandwiched together. And I don't want to have to add another antenna. So, all right, so firmware's updated and bind is complete.
71 dB.
Let's turn the telemetry back on here and see if that was just kind of a bug that was dropping in and out.
80 dB.
Well, so far so good.
92 dB.
We'll just kind of leave it sit here for a few minutes while I put the 4-ride back together. All right, so that's a little bit more of a pain in the butt than I thought. Trying to figure out where to mount these antennas. It's almost like you need one short one and then maybe a long one. I mean, there's what I got right there. You can see I've got one right here. Geez, one on this standoff running up and down, and then one going across there. What I would like, I think, is to have one vertical back here and then like a longer one like horizontally kind of out on the arm. But, you know, we're kind of going back, for a lot of you guys that don't know, back to kind of like 2.4, maybe FR Sky days, which, you know, I know a lot of you are still flying that kind of stuff anyway. But, you know, you could kind of just tape antennas and put them wherever you wanted to, inside tubes and all kinds of crazy stuff that we used to do back in the day. But, and it really didn't seem to make one bit of difference unless you were trying to eke out that like last half a kilometer out of your 1.5 kilometer system. So we're just going to roll it like this. I'm sure this is going to do what I needed to do in my needs. And then of course we're probably going to get more power, but, I don't know, man. We're going to just go outside and we'll do a little bit of test flying here around the house, and then we're just going to send this puppy. So thanks for sticking with me this long, and we'll be outside. So the one thing we need to do before we fly is we need to set up some kind of indicator to see how this stuff works. Now, TBS, this might be one of the best manuals that they've actually ever made. There's just all kinds of information that is in here. And the most important thing to me running DJI is it looks like, I don't know if this is something that's specific to CROSSFIRE or Tracer, but looks like now we can actually stuff link quality in there like we used to do before into like one of these output channels, and then select what channel it's on in Betaflight. And if we take a look here real quick, you can see even in my OSD, I've already verified this, that it is definitely pinging right here. In my OSD, I'm at 99 now, so they've got that fixed, which is nice.
100%.
And then I'm getting 100 here because the Betaflight one doesn't go to 100. And with RSSI, it's your true video signal. So basically your true link, I'm sorry. And what, this thing's beeping. So the further you go away, the more that you're going to get, the further it's going to go down. It's linear. It's not like the SNR, which I usually fly with, which basically says you can just keep on flying to here, but you start off and your SNR looks like crap because it's just, measuring so much noise at that time. So we are all set up and ready to go now. All right, guys, here we go. Starting off at 99, and I'm going to let this entire flight play through. You guys can take a look at it. Let me tell you what happened. My Tango 2 never said anything less than 99, repeating every 10 seconds. I did lose telemetry a couple times, but I did not fail safe. So I'm not 100% sure what that means and everything else. I had the RSSI dip a couple times below the 50% critical level, but like I said, no fail safe. I honestly can say I think I felt more comfortable flying this than I did CROSSFIRE. I didn't doubt that this was gonna just rock the house, but I didn't really think it was gonna do that well. I mean, you got to think the antennas are super small. They're buried behind me, and right now they're pointing straight at me. I am like way over that hill. That is about almost a mile out. Actually, it's about 3/4 of a mile. Sorry, but just no problems at all. I think that I didn't lose telemetry all out in here at all. And in my last CROSSFIRE video with the 500 milliwatt upgrade, I was bumping up to 500 milliwatts here and had to get a little bit higher in altitude than I am now. And I'm going to fly up here and kind of mess around a little bit and come back. And I'm just going to loop all the way around these trees right here. Yeah, and not have any problems at all. I've actually never flown that low and that close. The only reason why I had to pull out some was the DJI video was the limiting factor this time. My bit rate was just down to like 2 or 3 back behind there and just couldn't penetrate through that house and the hill and everything like that. I'm gonna be coming up here in a second. So we'll just kind of fly around here and kind of started getting a little bit more aggressive with it just because I wanted to just kind of feel, just feel it, That is one of the big benefits that you're not only running at a 250 hertz rate, which, it's debatable with the latency and everything like that, but without black boxing it, and I'm sure people are going to, I'm assuming that you're flying at a more consistent frame rate because it's not changing between like 150 and 50 and 10 and everything else like that. It's only got 2 frame rates to drop to, and I'm not sure how often I dropped to that lower rate, which I can't remember if it's 100 or 150 hertz. So that's still faster than what you're flying in with CROSSFIRE, really 75 to 80% of the time, because when I'm out, as soon as I pass the first tree line, I'm already in 50 hertz mode. I'm already getting like spikes of like frame times that are a lot lower, higher and inconsistent. We've seen that through UAV Tech's black boxing and various methods like that. It's a reason why I really didn't like my DJI remote. I actually didn't even make a video about it, but I got one and sold it like 2 or 3 days after that because I just wanted to see if it would work out and save me some money, but nothing does as good as like CROSSFIRE and now this tracer. So it's definitely probably going to go in all my ships, which, I've only got 3 anyway. I've got a Falco X build too, and that's an analog build. I might put one in there. Don't really see the need to put one in my truck. Now over here, which is totally 90 degrees from where I am at, my house is straight that way. I was getting telemetry drops, and that's kind of why I was just flying in circles here. to see what would happen if I would fail safe, but I didn't. So I just kept on going and going and going, and I haven't actually flown this far in a long time. Check out that plane with DJI taking off from the airport. So that's freaking sweet. But then eventually I got out here to this point. Battery was running a little bit low, so I figured I would come back. So again, 90 degrees, my head is facing to the right side of the screen straight out, and I am getting goggle signal and no problems except for a couple telemetry drops with the tracer. Everything was working just great. So I think it's a definite upgrade from CROSSFIRE, and some people might argue, but just the work that I could see that TBS has put into this and how flawless the experience was once I updated and that little bug went away, you know, that's it. Like, it's pretty much a game over for Ghost. I mean, who's even gonna go down that road? I wouldn't. So anyway, guys, I'll let you go. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging in with me. Hope you all are safe, and we'll see you on the next video.